Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Plebby Quest, The Crusades, and we're playing as Roger II in the Princess Maker scenario. Last time we basically lost all of our money to debtors and to our daughter, who is very needy. And this time we're probably going to lose even more money. So let's go over some things we can talk about here I didn't mention last time, which is our actual commander. So let's look at Roger II here. He is a Roman Catholic, unsurprisingly. He's a cavalry commander, so he gets bonus XP to cavalry units and can lead higher ranked cavalry units. He's lucky, which means he's immune to being captured in war. And he's a benevolent conqueror. Enemy cities' descent won't increase after a successful attack. Which is not really a good thing unless you win, because descent going up can hurt your enemy. Perfectionist repairs parts of walls after conquering a city. Now that is good, because that means you don't have to waste actions repairing walls as much. If we look at his units, we can see all he has is veteran squires and veteran slingers. We could upgrade these, but we don't have the money, obviously. So we do have and we also don't have the cavalry in this case. He's only level 1, so he only has 2 troops he can have. He only has 1 carrier pigeon, which, if we get into combat, you'll see what that means, really. As mentioned last time, we have no troops in our reserve. And he is our only general left, because our other general left us last time. So this time, I guess we'll go to... One thing we could do is fight these guys for XP. But they really are just going to cost us resources. I'm not sure if we want to do that. It would give us a higher level commander, which would be good. But again, we don't have the money to maintain an army, so I think we just go back to the monastery. And we have 5 slots, so we'll do the wine making. Still have 2 candles, so we're more likely to hit red. There we go. There we go. And 1 more. There we go. Nice. Perfect. We can make a lot of money with that. And that's all we can do this turn. Shylock, we owe him a ridiculous amount of money. 4,800 is actually more money than I made my entire last game, I think. So that just goes to show you how much we're in debt. And I'll just skip past all those. Okay. I have an event here. The Merchant of Venice. Greetings, Lord Humbert III of Caesarea. Okay, I think these guys are going to attack us. I am Shylock, chair of the Kingdom of Sicily Normalization Committee. The reason I asked you here today, that country leaves the business of kings to a moneylender. So, however, did you manage to get this appointment? Power can be bought with money too. There wasn't any need to do so before. I see you don't have enough money left over to buy class. Let's get to the point here. For a few months now, Sicilia's navy has been protecting the merchant companies from pirates. They still have a navy? I heard they sold off all their boats too. In return for the safety we provide, we'll be taking a protection fee from all the vessels crossing the strait. Who's the admiral? Captain Shylock? Your idiot son would be the first mate then. Are the sailors in all these boats? All of your indentured debtors? Due to the insincere negotiation attitude of Republic of Caesarea, your protection fee is now twice that of other kingdoms. And if we won't pay, Roger II will ravage the things you hold dear. Bloody Viking pirates built their castles but didn't change one damn bit. The easygoing party host Roger II would never hatch something like this. This is your doing, isn't it, Shylock? Mamluk. You called, master? But Mamluk, weapons on legs. Let's see how long this ridiculous caper lasts. The Mamluk generals and retainers of the kingdom are butting their heads on every incident. Shylock is ruining diplomatic relations between kingdoms. Diplomatic relations with the Caesarea has decreased. So I think we can anticipate. This is suspicious. It's too quiet for my liking. By the way, why do you hate the man so much? Who wouldn't? He's a villain, whichever way you look at him. Wait and see. He will show his true face soon. Well, that's right. We still are neglecting our religion, so we're headed towards bad faith, which is not good. We did sell off some of our wine. So one thing we could do now that we have money... I'm thinking we're just going to lose this money to events again, probably. But we can go and attack some of the ruffians in the inn now. And I think that's worthwhile because we do want to level up. It sounds like we're going to be going to war. So we'll take the infantry ruffians on. We'll go into our first combat encounter. You can see how that works. We are making a decent amount of money with our wine and everything. Problem is, we're just going to lose it to debt or to an event. And they are demanding tribute from us, which we're going to reject. So we're headed towards war with the Republic of Sassari. Let me speed through those. Okay, so we have our first battle here. We're up against discharged infantry. We can see they have a half-strength slinger, well, less than half-strength. And they have a infantry unit, whereas we have squires, which are cavalry, and slingers, which is a ranged unit. Actually, this may go poorly for us. We'll see. The main advantage of the cavalry is that they have the ability to charge, which we're going to wait until they're both inside of this radius to do. Okay, and there's a little timing to this, so there's our thing here. We're going to make our units go up. You can see that little bird flying. That's basically your messenger to tell your troops what to do. So we killed the slingers. We're just going to keep cycle charging these guys, basically. In a melee, obviously, our slingers are no match for infantry units, even really bad infantry units. But with the cavalry charges, we'll win this. We did take some significant damage, but it's alright. So our army can't gain any XP because they're already maxed out, they're already veterans. We did defeat him, and we will now get his sugar once I click on that reward. War, it's war. Machiavelli, what's he talking about? War is a state of armed conflict between societies. I mean, why? For various political purposes through various military means. I mean, with whom? For what reason? Ask that treacherous piece of work yourself. I told you I don't speak with such villains. Money, it's all about money. You Vikings are a warrior race of pillagers anyway, right? I don't deny that I have Viking blood in my veins, but this is the 12th century. The era of savagery is over. Then let's make an excuse of some kind. Like, I don't like the way you're looking at me, or I don't like the way you look, or I have to take the stress of having a bad child out on you. Say anything that fits. Beat them up. Then say, if you had agreed I wouldn't had to do this, then you'll understand, or they'll understand if you say it with a bitter face. Then all the shinies in the castle, the lord's daughter and wife, his people, will all be mine. No, I mean they become yours, and the kingdom's, and I get my debts paid. Fancy words for something as simple as beating up weak neighbors. That's right, take from the weak. Reigning lightweight of the Mediterranean, Republic of Sassari, that's our first prey. Constant war? You get that from How to Run Sicilia into the Ground for Dummies. The fastest way for a kingdom with nothing to survive is to fill its treasury with others' stuff. So stop wasting my time and go find a way to take everything. I can provide military supplies through my merchant company, of course at a fair price. Always the same clause at the end, eh? Not that I particularly fear them, but I have too few experienced generals to wage a war. A Viking without vassals and the lightweight of the Mediterranean. This should be a sorry sight. My departed lieutenants should come back soon. A little more time, please. I've got you covered there. Arabian, left, right, arms. Mamluk. You called, master. Oh, are they... These are slave warriors who have been forcibly converted to Islam. If His Holiness the Pope finds out, excommunication won't be far behind. Will you make enemies of all of God's servants? And we can't afford to keep paying for mercenaries, or the kingdom will never climb out of this economic hole. These boys will only look to their master, and gladly die to protect their master. Slave warriors only follow. They do not need rewarding. In other words, they aren't like you, Machiavelli. They don't grumble. Someday the gold you lust after will fill your maw up and choke you on all of it. I can breathe from my nose. You remember that, Machiavelli. Oh my, I don't know who the king is. I am here to collect my money. I will leave as soon as the balance is settled. Of course, if you want, I could also be persuaded to be chairman for longer. I suppose I'll have to go out on the field again if I want to send you home to your son. Shylock proposes war. Loaned an additional 240 ducats to the kingdom. Al-Yasar has become a general. Al-Shahi has become a general. Relations with Catholics have deteriorated. When the kingdom is at war, war cost is in effect. So, we are well on our way to getting excommunicated. Shylock has finally shown his true colors, so he wants to make money off of the kingdom. I thought it would be power. Doesn't all power ultimately desire riches above all? What I desire most is my daughter's happiness. Either the corruption hasn't seeped in yet or an exception to the rule. I believe we have no choice but to accept Shylock's military supplies at his price as long as we're at war. It's going to be that way as long as Shylock has a say, isn't it? So please click the replay all button before the debt increases even more. Seems like the whole world wants money I don't have. And our debt is actually going up. We now owe 5,040 ducats. My goodness. Okay, so go ahead and collect our gold from wine. And the Byzantines are wary of us. Now we're in bad faith with the Catholic Church. I think we have to go up to small offerings there. And we did get some of our trade goods in. That's good. Still not enough to actually improve a unit. So we did get some money from an additional loan. And there's our sugar. If we go to the barracks, we still don't have enough to upgrade our squire, which would be very useful. Our slingers, we can't upgrade those. So really we should fight this war with the Mamluk units. If we take a look here, Al-Yasar, he's a Sunni. He's an infantry specialist. He has the bonus of Nightmare, which is not useful for this thing particularly. Although if we make him fight in the inn, then he'll give us diamonds, which we could theoretically sell, although functionally we can't. What we can do now is actually attack. We could commence from... Well, actually, I don't think we don't have naval tech yet, so we can't. If I go to the research tab, we need to unlock Pioneering Sea Route before we can actually invade Caesarea. So maybe I'll have them do that. This guy might go do that, and this guy is good at praying. Although obviously he's a Muslim, so he can't pray at our shrines. He's got Mamluk infantry with archers. That's an interesting combo there. And so yeah, we can't talk to this guy because he's a Muslim, so he can't pray to our god anyway. We can drop some books in. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, okay, if we're going to do this, first I need to have Roger go to the monastery, pray. There we go. That'll give us a bonus to these actions here. And now we'll have Al-Yasar come into the monastery to do research. Do we want to do research with him? He's got cavalry. Yeah, we'll do research with him. Okay, so we need to match 3. We got 3 blues right there. That's easy. And we could create a gray. Can we do anything else? No. Alright, so let's go ahead and match the 3 gray along the bottom here. And we can do 3 reds. There's that. And that's all we can get. 34 research, so we still don't have enough to get. We need a 50 to get the and you can't do this twice. You cannot do that twice. So we'll have him. Gosh, what should he do? He will do wine production, I guess. Going for the red and red and red. No, decent though, not bad. So we'll make some money off of that. And soon it will be the season of ruffians. Let's go ahead and end our turn. And we'll speed through that. Hegemonism. Kingdom of Castile condemns the crown of Aragon. Okay. And it looks like, okay, we have Parliament this month. Parliament is basically, you can take quests. I think I already know what they say, what they will say, but let's hear it. They all have the same opinion. Stabilize the commodity price. Yeah, so normally these will all be different quests. But as we are currently not in we're in like hyperinflation, everyone wants the same thing, which we can't do at the moment. We won't be opening Parliament for a time being. Still, isn't it my task to listen to their pleas? To be correct, you listened to them and just moved on doing nothing. Anyway, it would be better not to be seen. So we can sell that. Good. Made a little bit of money on that. actually have a decent amount of money stockpiled at the moment. We are going to need to do some research, though. Let's go to the monastery. We're going to pray again. Get 2 candles. That'll improve our results for this stuff here. He's going to attack one of the ruffians, and then we'll have him do research. Okay, so we have... Okay, we could get a match 3 in the middle here. Let's do that. And that's lucky, and that's good. Very useful here. Wow, we're kind of on a roll right now. Okay, let's think. What have we got? We can create a diagonal red if I do this, and then that, and then this. That'll be good. And I don't know if there's anything I can do here that'll be useful. Let's see. No, nope. No, there's nothing that's... It doesn't matter where I put it. Just put it there. So now we have enough to get the invasion unlocked. Okay, we are doing our small offering. Let's research. And Pining Sea Route. There we go. So now we can attack Cagliari, which we want to do. So I was going to have him attack ruffians, but how much money is this going to cost? So this is our first city battle. This guy says it'll be easy for us. It takes a few military resources. The military resources it requires is dependent on the troops you're attacking with. Because we have infantry, cavalry, and archers, we need a little bit of each. We also need wheat because that's useful for everything. And we have to spend money. We can spend less money and not bring a ram with us, but then we'll have difficulty breaching the walls. And let's just check here. Cagliari has 1 wall and 1 fence, so it's pretty lightly protected. So we're going to attack with this Mamluk unit here. And we're going to declare war. And is there anything else we need to do this turn? I don't think so. We do have enough to research another technology. Or, no, we're still 10 short. Okay. Let's end our turn. So they'll meet out. If they don't have a commander who can meet us in battle, we just take it. So if you have more commanders than your enemy, or you beat them, like, essentially a war of attrition, eventually you will be able to win if you have more units. Or you're winning the battles handily. Their units are depleted faster than yours. So the Muslims are trying to demand tribute from us. Obviously, we're not going to give them tribute. We don't have any money. So here's our battle. We're up against 2 infantry, 2 spearmen specifically, and an archer unit, plus the wall. This is going to be a little bit tough, probably. Alright, so let's take a look. What have we got here? So this is our ram. It's going to move forward, and we're going to order a charge here to attack these spearmen. There we go. The fence here basically makes it so cavalry can't helpfully contribute to the battle. The wall is actually going to do the same thing, really. We can charge again here because they're slightly poked out. We'll be able to hit that unit a little bit. But this is not going to go great for us, probably. Let's actually back off a little bit here, and we'll order a charge. Might be able to hit them. There we go. And now we'll order a hit. So there's 2 components to this. If I slow it down here, let me pause actually. We have the overall troop counts, which just tells you how much each side has in terms of their HP. And then we have the morale meter, which if your morale gets too low, or their morale gets too low, your units will just retreat automatically. Let's go ahead and play though. So we're waiting on our ram to make it to the front here. These guys are coming out, so we're going to charge them. Now the ram is going to get up on this wall. It's going to start destroying it. And as long as we protect it, it should be fine. One thing to note also, the unit's HP will increase as they stay out of battle. So our cavalry will restore HP right now. That's also why you can swap out units. We could put the archers on the front, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to just move the cav up. And then they can take the hit for a second, then we'll swap those just briefly to allow our infantry to recover. Now we'll charge, and we'll swap these. And if we just cycle charge, we should be okay. Because these infantry, once they break their morale, that is, then they will, there we go. Yeah, we're about to win this. We just need to hold firm a little bit longer. Do another charge, we might be good. Break one of these infantry units, the archers are probably going to run. Okay, come on. A little bit more, just a little bit more. Come on. Charge. We don't want our HP to get to 0. That can totally kill the unit if that happens. So I'm actually going to swap these two. And have the archers in the front line for a second. They're only up against other archers anyway. And we'll charge. And actually we're going to swap this again. There we go. Now we should be able to win this. Definitely a close run thing. Our charge should finish the job here. There we go. And their morale is broken, so they're retreating. If we destroy them here, then that has a chance to capture the enemy general, which we can sell him or recruit him potentially. But we're not gonna, yeah, we didn't pull it off. Okay, so we won the battle at a very, very heavy price. As you can see, we took a ton of damage on our units. They're gonna gain actual XP though, because they were able to do various things. So this unit's now a veteran, this unit's a veteran. When a unit becomes a veteran, its HP goes up. I think its combat stats might go up slightly, but combat stats aren't really tracked particularly. Oh, something just flashed through my mind. What's that supposed to mean? I didn't say anything, Your Majesty. You did monologue just now in a very spooky way. Quiet, don't talk to me as if it isn't important. I almost forgot what I was thinking about just now. What do? Niccolo left in a hurry. Okay. So we're going to get some resources and plunder from the enemy. Not much, though, because this is just a small town. We do get a lot of research. And the descent's going to go up, but because... oh, wait, no, actually, we didn't take that with our ruler, so we aren't benefiting from that. Papal States is going down because of Shylock. He's sabotaging diplomacy. And we are going to have the Italian merchant visiting next month. If it's done this way, this could work. I told you before that your monologue can be quite spooky. Now is the time to solve the inflation. I'll show you that I'm more competent than Shylock. Just as I thought, competition is good. Now he finally starts to work. I'll give you some quests for research. Please get it done. Wait, I am doing this? Silk Road begins. So, time to prep for war. I'll need a payment of 60 gold in advance. Why am I paying this outrageous amount for? And where's the receipt? Do you expect me to pay this questionable fee by your word alone? Oh yes, that, I forgot about it. It's fine. I know the man who runs the business. He delivers. No need to worry. Did you scam one of your so-called customers again? Someone like you who covets money wouldn't have any friends, right? If they can pay their debts, they are my friend. I don't betray my friends. Ha, more like the ones you can betray are your friends. Shylock's war cost is shown here. As it would be charged throughout the war, you should try to finish the ongoing war quickly. And we've received his shipment, which we're going to get some resources for that. What's this poor Pulp Fiction? Maki-chan and the Great Victory? It's just a hobby of mine. Nothing of importance. Are you moonlighting as a writer now? What happened to loyalty to the kingdom? Do you think I'm doing this for my sake? We've got to make money from somewhere if we want this kingdom to keep up its appearance. This is true, however, Maki-chan, your taste is quite... These kind of light novels sell well these days. Did you come from ancient Roman age? Right, so we have a weeaboo Machiavelli. Nice. So that's going to give us a little bit of money and research. That's good. Sold a little bit of that. So we need to now accommodate Eastern merchants and Arabian merchants, which potentially we could do this turn. Victory in the Battle of Cagliari. So that's going to give us more research points. Yeah, I think we can afford that. Ready. So we accommodate Arabians. What peril is Maki-chan going to face? Speak later, I'm busy. Okay, and then we can get our Eastern merchants. There we go. Now show me your competence. Good work. The results should show up after a month. Nice. Okay, so, let's see. Will he have enough strength to take out the capital? Probably not. Let's just take a look at the units that are actually here. So the enemy generals, as we can see from that last battle, we fought the king and his army was basically erased in that battle. They also have these two other generals. We have an archer specialist and then a guy with a really weak army. But even a guy with a weak army who has a wall on his side can be pretty hard to deal with. As for our generals, though, technically speaking, our king is kind of low on his HP and his units and whatnot, but I'm thinking it's more important to deal with other matters than that right now. Let me just check on our religion tab, actually. Okay, we're doing alright, and we do have enough research to do something with. Is anything here going to help me, though? I don't think so. Move forward back one tile is kind of useful. It's sort of like a very specific niche thing. Rows 2 and 3 is very useful, but we kind of need more generals and money to make use of it. Metals are very useful as well, but again, that's powered by money. So we could either rest and he'll gain a percentage of his unit strength back. I think at the red tier it's 50%, at the yellow tier it's 25%. So he would get most of his cavalry and archers back, and only like he'd be back up to like maybe 5,000 on his Mamluks if we rested. On the other hand, what you can do is you can go to the inn and you can talk to her and pay her money. Now that's way too much money for us to deal with right now, so we're not going to do that. But we can basically repair his HP in one turn if we were to do that. So we will rest him. Yeah, okay, so it's 30% for yellow units and 50% for the red ones. Now this guy, let's see, at the monastery we can do research, sell wine. I think we'll, we don't really need research right now, actually, I guess. Like, I don't think there's any texts we're super duper, I keep hitting religion. I don't think there's any texts that we're super duper interested in at the moment. Noblesse Oblige is nice, that you just make more money that way. I'm trying to see, sending inspectors, so that reduces the corruption, that's good. But yeah, I think we're actually going to have this guy rest for a turn, and Al Cecile will attack this turn. Now, he probably won't win the battle. Really, all we're looking to have happen is damage the enemy army more than we get hurt, and potentially damage their walls. Because as I said, you know, if we look at the nation overview, it's going to take Humbert like a couple turns to get back up to full strength. And if we end up fighting Eustace, then that's a very easy victory for us. So if we can just reduce Matilda, he only has 1 infantry, so that's also helpful. We're going to be going in with archers. Archers are very good in siege battles. Infantry are always good. Cavalry are good when it's in the field, or if you're just trying to damage the enemy army. But cavalry are bad in sieges. As you saw, the problem with them is that they... Okay, so the Barbaries here on this map mode, they're one of the barbarians. They'll spawn units to basically cause the seasonal unhappy populace, which we haven't seen yet, but eventually you'll see them. Okay, so we do have the enemy army here, and they're coming out. We don't have any cavalry, so there's no reason for us to not just move completely forward here. Our units are better than theirs, so we should just win this confrontation. It's better for us to just stay in the engagement, even though we are losing HP right now. And broke that fence, good. And broke that fence. Yeah, because if we break this enemy infantry unit, then basically they only have archers to defend, and that won't survive. Alright, there's that broken, and now we can... I'm just going to speed it up here. We don't really have any strategy to use here. It's just attack. And so we broke the first layer of their wall. This unit is getting pretty low on HP. Unfortunately, we don't have the switch rows command yet unlocked. They might just have to die. That might be our only real recourse here. We're just going to have to... Yeah, they're going to get killed. But if we take the walls... And these guys are retreating now, I think. Not yet, actually, but we've wiped them out. There we go. Completely destroyed their army. So we win that battle. And that will take out the enemy kingdom. So let's get through that. And these guys are all veterans. That's nice. So we now have Republic of Sassari under our control. We're going to gain 3 infantry units, various money, a bunch of research points, and then we got a diamond as well. And so this is like the Kingdom Falls event here. The enemy is in the castle. Let us fight to the last man. And then all of his advisors abandoned him, so he gets sad. And that's the end of Sassari. And so they will escape. We can now choose to hire generals if we like. This guy's not very good, so I don't know why we would hire him, really. I think I'm just going to release him. So you can see it would cost us this much money to hire him, and we'd get this much for ransoming him. We're just going to let him go. As you can see, all he had with him was a unit of like damaged slingers, and he didn't have any real skills. 1 second, I gotta sneeze. Okay, and then so because we attacked Catholics, the Pope is mad at us. We're gonna lose even more faith. There's no excuse. God is watching you. And now we're down to very dangerous levels of heresy here. But we are now also a duke, which means we can have more generals. Generals, as you can see through the course of the game so far, that's basically your actions for the turn. So more of those is good. Ciao, I am Alberto. Grazie. Thank you for welcoming us, the Association of Merchants and Free Cities, to Europe and the Mediterranean. We supply horse and woods. Our horse are strong and luscious beasts, much like the men of Italia. So we have here our kingdom ranking just went up a whole bunch because we're now a duke and we control more provinces. Even though we are still in bad way, mostly. So he's now speaking with people in the inn. Commodity prices are now stable. See, do you see the proof of my competence? You're just in time. I was starting to think, how did the ancestor take care of frauds? You may take one thing out of the treasury. The only thing I can take out of the treasury is wet air. The only thing left is to disband the Kingdom Normalization Committee and kick Shylock out, isn't it? I wish we could do it. However, he won't return unless we pay the debts. He could try something if we get rid of him. Should I pay him back then? So we'll sell some wine. Get all of our trade resources and everything. There's our conquest resources. So we actually have a lot of Maki-chan, and the secret research has been published. Alright, so we're up to 1,000 gold. We do have some damaged cities that we want to fix. We'll have him rest this turn. And he will also rest. Our king can do whatever he wants. In the barracks, we do have some troops in our reserve since we captured them from the enemy's realm, basically. We have a little bit of unrest, but it's only costing us 6 coins, so I'm not really interested in dealing with it yet. What's the income? Okay, so we have 4 blank barrels. I'm just trying to think if it would be worth it to do that, or if it would be better for us. What's Rome have in terms of their leaders? They've got paladins. These guys are like crazy. Level 4, I believe, units. Yeah, tier 4. Whereas our units are tier 1, and the mercenaries only have tier 3 units. So we can't really beat the Papal States. We don't want to go to war with them, even, acknowledging that the could attack the Muslims. That would also make the Pope like us. Do we have an access point to the Palma de Mallorca? I don't think so. I think this is one of the provinces you need to build a road to. Yeah. Okay. Just thinking here. If we were to attack that, they would probably send their strongest guys to defend, which we can beat with our generals, but not with our ruler. I think I might have him go to the inn and do another battle to get XP. We will fight the... What do we have? We have cavalry and slingers. Yeah, not great. We'll fight the enemy cavalry blob here. And we can have another general, but to recruit one, we need to go to the inn and just find them. It'll let us know if there's a wandering general that's entered our kingdom. At the moment, it does not seem that there is. We'll be here again next September. Until then, arrivederci, ciao bello. So then it's going to be all these turns. And the Fatimids have declared war on us. So we are at war with the Muslims now. So are they going to invade me? I think these guys are allies, so we're about to be at war with both of them. Events in Spain. Kind of irrelevant for us. And the Barbaries have been taken out. And yeah, now we're now at war with both of these guys, which is bad. We have no one to... Well, we have one guy, I guess, who can kind of defend. This is not a good matchup for us. We're going to let them get close. Alright, now we're going to charge. Ah, darn it. Okay, and we'll win this. Kind of narrowly. Lose a lot of men in the process. And, what brings you to the palace? I've received word to come back from my post, since all my back pay would be paid for. Lord Machiavelli's name was on the summons. I haven't heard anything about. I kept telling my family, it's the king, he wouldn't really cheat me on my pay, and yet it was a pleasant surprise. Oh, of course I took care of it. Honesty is my family's motto. And, we lost some money for back wages. Aladdin. Assalamu alaikum. I am Aladdin, a merchant of Arabia. My thanks to you for opening the trade post. This guy will sell sugar and wood. Okay. So we did win that. We got money from our monastery. Got some more war funds. And Machiavelli's private hobby gave us more research points. We now have a lot of research points. We can really knock a lot of this stuff out. How much are we paying in general's wages at the moment? War cost is really high because we're at war with 2 people. What's this guy got? Spearmen, 2 crossbows. Alright, we're going to have to beat him with Al-Yassar. So when an enemy is attacking you, you'll get a turn to basically figure out how to defend yourself. And we'll defend against them. Now, we could, since that's happening, I don't know if we can actually attack. No, we could attack there, but we're against 2 Muslim countries. That's not good. We don't really have the firepower to deal with that. I think we have to rest him and just get more of his troop strength back. Roger needs to level up, really, but we're going to rest him for a turn. And it's Easter, which means that we should be losing, or all of the wine should be getting sold off. Now we're making almost no money. In fact, we're actually losing money because of the artificial war cost penalty, which, let me see on the diplomacy menu. For us to get a truce, we are going to have to liaise on them. We could also potentially give them a gift, but we're at war with 2 people, so we need a truce with both of them. If we fight them and win some battles, I think that gives us a relationship bonus. We'll have to just end the turn here. Do we want sugar? What do we have in sugar income? Nothing, probably. I think I will subscribe to the sugar thing. That way we just have an income of sugar so we can start upgrading units. One thing we can do here, the squire can be upgraded to cavalry, so we're going to do that. You will be a whole new troop by the time you return to General Roger II. They say failure is the mother of success. How many mothers can you need? The only opponent you stand a chance against is yourself. You couldn't stab a man faster than you could die from old age. And then they will turn into cavalry. Very good. Your new name is cavalry. Dismiss. Okay, so Machiavelli has another brilliant idea. This will help our king basically just become more useful to us. We want him to get level 3, then we can stick an infantry in his formation, and he'll be a lot less squishy. A cavalry archer formation is very weak, as you may have noticed from the engagements we've been in. We definitely want 1 infantry as a defense against enemy charges and so forth. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, actually, I think I'll go ahead and end the video here, and we'll pick it up next time on Let's Play Plebby Quest: The Crusades.